Ahoy there, crew, and welcome back to Hot Springs Island. Hello there.
Hello.
Alrighty, back in the saddle. It is indeed day 19, 8 a.m. in the morning. The sun is up. We just finished fighting some nasty, spooky boys, so we're chilling on a roof. We're all rested, we're all chilled, and I do believe we're still in the crumbling infestation area. Alrighty, as I mentioned, looking around you, things seem mostly okay now. You're no longer being attacked by a massive horde of very angry-looking shadows.
For now.
For now.
For now.
We do see, obviously, hear things begin to shift about and such. But where to next? You guys have a pretty nice view on things as of current?
I could try going back to the temple.
Weren't we going back to those vines? The glass
that's
thing?
the temple, yeah. Yeah, that's the temple, right? Yeah.
Yep. There was a glass roof building that was definitely a temple. That was being basically held together and also pulled apart by vines. So we want to head back there?
Yeah.
Alrighty. We'll shift things up to noon. And as mentioned before, we're heading in relatively slowly, so we're not going to get caught. There are obviously some Arva moving about. By the time it's noon, they will be very, very clearly moving about. They're obviously not attempting to hide whatsoever, but we can... This is a huge city, and there aren't that many of them, so we can move fairly easily. As mentioned before, the building is precariously held together by constrictor vines. And there's a second set of vines, which are the salt vines that are inside, mostly on the ground. The other vines are on the outside of the building, and on the inside, kind of holding the cracked walls together. It smells relatively musty in here, but other than that, you don't really sense any other presence inside the building.
Is like the entire inside covered in vines, or is there like a safe-ish area?
There are definitely safe areas, but the whole area is going to be relatively dangerous.
Would I be able to traverse better in fox form?
You'd be smaller. The problem is the salt vines, we know, are attracted to liquid. So no matter what, there's still water in your body. You'll just be more quickly consumed.
Did we establish if they are attracted still if you're invisible?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Since they cannot see, they're literally just attracted to moisture, basically. So there's moisture in your body, they will move towards you. They don't move super rapidly, but you guys know if you get, obviously, like if one grabs you, you can just rip it off. It's not a big deal. But if you get caught by tons, it'll just start draining you, basically.
Yeah. Do I have anything that can make water is the question.
Yeah, don't you have that overflowing forever water pot?
That's true. I can see if I can like make a bath by spilling water and having to move away.
We can most definitely do that. Are you leading the way, Lekka? And Sarabi and Aldrin are just kind of hanging up behind?
I guess.
Yes.
I'd have to make sure the constrictor vines don't get close to us as well.
I can have my little balls of flame ready.
All right, we can most definitely do that. So you're going to summon to look at Tsunebi and kind of move it around?
Yeah.
Okay, that works. Aldrin, are you doing anything? Probably grabbing the oven. Okay. I will say, Lekka, you do know, so I'm going to require I'll say a sleight of hand roll from you, just to basically be as careful as humanly possible to get this to function. But Sarabi, I believe you have guidance for that if you want to assist. You don't have to actually physically do anything. It might actually function, but Lekka basically just add 1d4 to the roll.
I can also re-roll it with my sorcery points.
Yes.
That's
okay.
There we go.
Okay. No, not dying.
1d4 to that. Just for lulz, that's a 24.
Okay, a 24. Okay. Jesus. Alrighty then.
You did it.
I think you did it, and then some. Alrighty, I'm gonna say with the never-ending little cup bowl of water, you're able to very accurately pour some to the left, pour some to the right, and you kind of see them shifting and moving. It takes you kind of a second, but maybe Daniel's kind of like floating up above, and he can give you like an eye view looking down of like, hey, move here, move here, move here. And rather than wasting time moving throughout this temple, Daniel's more easily able to lead us to where we actually want to go much quicker. We're not going to spend very much time here at all. And you know, with this little path that you're making, like it's almost like a reverse path. You're like, rather than pouring the water where you want to go, you're pouring it where you don't want to go. And very accurately, you're not pouring too much. You're not pouring too little. You gauge very quickly exactly what you need to do. Daniel leads your group on over to, we'll say, some stacked books that don't really seem to have been torn up by time or the elements. And in this area, we should have some time to ourselves to look at them. No rush.
You know, one of these days, one of us really needs to get that detect magic spell.
Don't look at me. I'm a smacky boy.
Yeah, don't look at me either. That's lame.
Actually, that's a first level spell, but I
That's
only
the
have
thing
2
you
of
can
those.
do. Clerics, I can't just prepare this stuff, you know. I'm born with my magic, I can't change it.
Okay,
I'm
I will
stuck
do
with what
it.
I have.
I will get rid of inflict wounds for it.
Okay, you know what? Fine.
Next time.
next time we take a long rest, or we have some break time or something, you can learn the spell, and you can try inscribing it, and I can learn it in my spell book.
Realistically, we did just long rest. If being here, Aldrin, if you wanted to swap out inflict wounds, you could have done that if you wanted to.
Yeah. Like I probably would have brought it up last night anyway.
Yeah, you guys,
Sure, I'll
you guys,
swap out
Because
inflict
Lek
wounds
has been
for it.
thinking about it for a while now, but
yeah, you guys just long rested, so it's perfectly fine. A few other things. I did update the items in your guys' inventory, as we discussed. We had time to look at them. Sarabi, you now have Spirit Foxes as an attack, so you can directly attack with that. I did mention the ceremonial dagger that you found in the oven, that I think they were like smoke elementals. They were kind of messing with the little imps, the little smoke imps. They wanted it back, but Daniel's like, hey, they're elementals. He's like, hey, we saved you. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. So they gave it to you. They didn't know what it was. They just were stabbing each other because they thought it was funny. It does do something, though, Sarabi. It's able to cast Burning Hands once per day at 2nd level, and it's a DC 15 dex save. So you do have that.
yeah, useful.
I see.
The Necklace of Instruction, Sarabi. I have further elaboration on that. It says it's a necklace woven from fresh pink flowers. Its wearer feels driven to teach a skill they know. Receptive students can pick up the skill in half the normal time. So whoever's wearing this could teach someone something very quickly.
Oh my god, that's bad with me.
Oh no.
I mean, you could teach Eldrin all kinds of things.
No, I'd prefer if she didn't.
Yeah, he's
How
he's
long
not.
has it been since you last eaten, by the way?
Give me a second to
I
count.
believe it's 8 or 9 days.
Now it would be good for teaching medical knowledge because she's into medicine.
See, if only it allowed you to teach me how to use detect magic.
It's fine. I got it now. I'll
Alrighty.
waste one of my
Yeah.
2 spell slots on it.
And then
whenever we need it.
for you,
I really wish ritual
This-
magic wasn't
this-
this restrictive.
This is the 8th day.
all right then. For you, Aldrin, the Silver Songbird is a small, wind-up nightingale of astral silver. Once wound, the bird flies in an outward spiral to a distance of up to 20 feet, singing sweetly. All but the winder must save or fall asleep. Basically determined,
Okay.
depending on the scenario and depending on the target, the sleep will be more or less effective, but this does not dodge your allies. So they will fall to this if they're close enough. It's a very small range, of course, but all the same. I think there might have been one more. Obviously, you have that oil, the homing oil, and
Ah, yes, the homing oil.
I think that actually might be it in terms of items we didn't know what they did, that we picked up freshly that I didn't fully describe. Indeed. Okay, perfect.
I think so, yeah.
So digging through all these items and such, you guys are actually able to find some pretty decent things. First and foremost, for you, Lekka, since you've been on the lookout, you find 4 undamaged parchment sheets for magic. So you can inscribe any bullshit on them. They are almost perfect. They were wedged in a book, and that book was like wedged under something. So that's perfect.
Do I have to be the one inscribing it?
Not necessarily.
Alright.
They're just
Then
paper.
I'm probably just gonna have Eldrin inscribe detect magic on it tonight. Or next long rest, rather.
All right, something else. Let's see. I am going to have... All right, playing off the crit, I was going to normally ask you guys for an extra roll here to determine how many we find, but instead, I'll just roll... I'll roll 2, and if you guys want to keep looking, you can. Alrighty, the first one. So I mentioned you found some unscribed. You also find some that have already been written in and are not damaged due to time. One scroll you find. I'm just going to be super blunt with what these are, because you guys can look at them later. Upon reading through them, you realize...
Honestly, you can probably just not say them because I need to actually decipher them before I can do anything with them.
The scrolls?
Technically, yeah. Well, no, actually, no. Scrolls I can use.
Yes, yeah.
If they're usable scrolls, yeah.
It's a scroll, yeah. This is a
Okay,
scroll.
that makes sense.
Yeah, this is a scroll of a spell you would recognize. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
it's usable by both sorcerer and wizard, so you would super recognize it. Inscribed on this first scroll is Agonazar's Scorcher, which is a level 2 spell. All right, so scrolls actually function, or they should, so let me throw that in your inventory.
I mean, I'm definitely not casting them. I'm just putting them in my book. How long does it even take me? I think 10 minutes or something per level.
We'll worry about that later. It's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
take it takes time, it takes money. So, and the second one you find, already technically none of you can cast this, but you would also recognize the spell because it's incredibly common. You find Fairy Fire,
What's that do again?
It gives advantage on anyone hit.
Yeah.
and they glow.
You have to
It's
make
very useful.
a dex save or they. Yeah.
Oh yes, that's a spell I hated that never hit.
It is actually very powerful, and that's why it's probably
really
not
Yeah,
hit.
yeah, when it hits.
That's how it works.
That's the key. It has to hit.
It's a dex save, is why.
I mean, honestly, just blame Yeti for making his enemies too dexterous.
I know, right?
Yeti, I hate
How
you.
dare you?
Actually, you say that, but you cast it at enemies with magical resistance, so that's why.
That too.
Shush you.
Not
Minor,
wrong.
minor detail.
It's a pretty big detail, to be fair.
It's only
Shh.
advantage on every single spell. Safe.
Every spell effect.
You're not sure how much is in here going forward, but there might be a few more things kind of hanging around. Like I said, the crit basically allowed you to get 2 of these for free, and the salt mines are not bothering you whatsoever. If you guys want to try to get maybe a little more,
I do. Never take advantage of good luck.
I'll have all of you roll perception, but the DC is going to be relatively high, just because there's so many of you.
Monster.
Wait, for what?
For continuing to look through here, I won't add any more time, but the obvious consequence is the salt mines are going to either get spicy or an Arv is going to walk by.
Robbie used guidance on me. Or Lekka.
I mean, I can just keep re-rolling my rolls, technically.
As long as you have stuff, yeah?
As long as I only have 4 more sorcery points, so... Ooh, 19, not bad.
Already a 24, a 19, and a 23. Yes, it actually consumes the
Oh, actually, Daniel
guidance as
is
well.
also checking. Well, he can give the health action to someone.
Alrighty, you guys rolled...
But I don't think we need it.
No, you guys rolled super,
Real
super well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll again on this.
And Daniel crit.
My God. So you guys rolled a 24, a 19, a 23, and a 23. Okay, already. And we'll see you guys found this one quickly, and you're able to ascertain what it is relatively fast. I'm just going to dump everything on you, Lekka, and then we'll determine BS later.
Oh, this is a nice spell I'm never able to cast. Because it's a 2nd level wizard spell. I think that's the downside. I can write it in my book, but I can never cast it. I can scribe it, though, I think.
Alrighty, for the weirder spells, I have something I wrote down in terms of rules. Basically, the DC is just harder in order to cast it properly because it's not something within your wheelhouse, but rather than saying you can't cast it, period, because it's a druid spell, we'll say it is castable, but it's going to require a check. So the second spell, no, the third spell you guys find is a level 3 spell. It is Speak with Plants, which is castable by Bard, Bard, Ranger, and Druid, which we aren't, so that will take some fang dangling to actually cast, but all the same. Alrighty, and you guys rolled so well that the weeds are still kind of just doing their thing, ignoring you guys. You found this very quickly, and you're not seemingly attacked by anything. If you guys wish to push your luck, you may do so again.
Wait, so what did we find?
You found a level 3
Spell
spell scroll, Speak with Plants.
I want to push my luck.
Oh god.
This is where we all die.
Yep.
Does anyone want advantage from Danny? Otherwise, I'm just rolling him.
I guess we might as well all look around more.
Alrighty.
Yes, and 11.
All right, 22, 18, 11, 19. The 3 of those are indeed high enough that I'll roll again for you guys.
Quick use detect magic, then you don't even have to look around. You just see everything. At least
But
within
my
the
spell slots.
at least within the 30 feet range. You can cast it as a ritual. It takes you 10 minutes, but
I guess I could.
yeah. I mean, you would have had to do it outside technically, but
Yeah. I can't do it now unless I use the spell slot.
how long does it last? An hour?
10 minutes, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Alrighty, upon looking through this temple once again, fairly quickly, you guys are able to find another pretty spicy spell scroll. This one is a level 3 spell again, usable by wizard and warlock. So you would, once again, Lekka, recognize this one. It is Vampiric Touch.
Oh, nice.
That's level 3?
It is
Yeah.
level 3,
Yep.
correct.
I would never be able to cast it though, sadly, but well, not without the scroll.
Also, I'm pretty sure the standard rules for reading a spell scroll either in your class or outside your class you can't normally cast. The spell scroll explodes. I'm saying that's not the case. You just can't cast it for the rest of the day. So it just basically fizzles out, I think.
It explodes. That's what it's
Nice.
supposed to be.
I believe
I thought it just burns up, right?
one of two things happens. Either you can't do it, period, or it just burns away and it ceases to be. That's not so fun. So I figure a day penalty is fine. Basically, it just becomes unreadable. It's like, no, how dare you?
Gives you a massive migraine.
Alrighty, and with that, we've basically found everything we possibly can here. So we got some really, really good spicy stuff. It is still only 12. We've looked at both areas in the Crumbling Infestation, and we've looked at both areas technically in the Broken Quarter. We just didn't go into the second one because we knew it was trapped, and we knew there was just raw gold there. So we marked it on our map to go back to later.
I think we're just going to do that on our way out again.
Yes, good plan.
All right, where we'd like to go to next. There is the Iridescent Stair, the Ruined Marketplace, and the Baths.
I think we're just going to do a U shape, right?
Yeah, that was
Or
the
the
plan.
N shape, rather,
Or the one I suggested, whatever.
which is the base now.
Which one?
I think the base. So we went from Broken Quarters to Crumbling Infestation, then Bates,
To The
And
The
then
baths.
weird mark-
baths, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said the base. I'm like, what base? Yes.
Drop the base.
That's what I heard.
I'm like, the base. I'm like, what's the base? I don't know. I've not heard of this place.
Come to the bathhouse.
Alrighty, we'll roll things up to 4 p.m.
Just up
Wow.
and then down.
Alrighty, as mentioned before, you guys could tell from a distance that the baths, this general area, is the most defended by quite a bit. So it's going to take us some time to get through here. But as we do, we come across a building that seems pretty nice. It's a domed tower built from seamless basalt. It looks like a giant hunk of basalt was just dropped here, and they just sculpted the entire tower and have one giant, huge chunk. Looking about and looking in various windows and such, it seems that maybe at one point this was a courthouse, and lots of light streaming in through all the windows. As I mentioned, it's currently 4 p.m., and you can see, resting within the light, there are various spider brushes. Some are moving toward the light, some are just kind of like resting, but this area seems to be full of those little boys.
Courthouse. This was a pleasure island.
Yeah.
Law doesn't sound fun or pleasurable.
I mean, maybe to some people.
Whatever.
You never know.
Do we enter?
Most likely.
No, we
If
run away.
If we can with yeah. We just turn around and go away.
Two things. There is a lot going on in the bathhouse, so things are going to seem slightly disjointed. So currently, when I say the bathhouse, I don't mean the building proper. I mean one of the smaller ones next to it. The actual bathhouse itself is the largest building at the northern section of the city. In fact, it's probably the biggest building here, period. We come across a smaller building that is seemingly valuable prior to this larger building. So you guys can either mark this courthouse down, or we can head on in and look about. Up to you.
I mean, it looks heavily defended, right?
This whole place looks heavily defended, yes. The bathhouse proper, it's not like they're guarding it because there's someone or something in there. There's just more up here because they can see downward and they can see anyone moving around. So a lot of the guards you guys have been dodging have been up here looking down, like in very parapets and towers and things of that nature.
And these are the Arva?
All of them the Arva, yeah. There are some animals moving about, but the Arva are basically ignoring them.
Right, so want to go in?
Yeah, I mean, our best bet would be to just move from building to building.
Yeah. I mean, I can make all three of us invisible now, without succumbing to my addiction.
Excellent.
Hey, remember, every day you do have the Pearl of Power in case you happen to run out of a very particular spell slot. You got that as a backup. We all move on in. Everybody go ahead and roll me Perception again. Kind of keeping an eye out.
Nice.
21,
I love the extra +0/+0 I get.
12, 23, and then Daniel can help you with that 14. So initially, unsurprisingly, it looks as if the area just past the entrance was probably trapped. But the two of you are able to see this fairly quickly, and we walk around it. We'll keep a mental note that there's a tripwire here. What's it connected to? Maybe we'll mess with it later, but just take things slow. We've already run into one.
Now, yes, I definitely should have taken the incredibly powerful spell, Find Trap.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The
100%.
incredibly powerful spell that tells me, yes, there is a trap in 30 feet range. I have no idea where it is, but it is here.
It exists.
There is that would be going off everywhere in the city.
It's such a disappointing spell.
I mean, it has uses sometimes.
Indeed.
It'd be good here.
Looking throughout the courthouse, it looks as if it was probably ransacked, not recently, but definitely at some point it was ransacked. There are other burnt body marks and scorches that are left behind, and primarily just spider brushes moving around. We see some books, we see some records that are kept and things of that nature, but it's fairly quiet in here. There are definitely a lot of books, though. Books and scrolls and things of that nature are very haphazardly stacked. Some have already been knocked over by the spider brushes and, the most likely the panic from a while ago, but there are definitely some that are still stacked up. They're all like pushed up against the walls and stuff, and there's some pillars and columns that are composed of basically all books, and then some like scroll boxes and such.
Are they all law books?
Glancing across them quickly, since you can't really read Sarabi, they look law-esque, yes, but Aldrin and Lekka, that is a ritual spell, right? Lekka, comprehend languages?
Yeah, I don't have his active currently, I think.
Okay, would you have activated it coming into the building?
Not really, unless Eldrin points out that it's not, in fact, law books.
Just Aldrin.
Maybe.
You can tell that there are indeed some law books, but there's also many medical textbooks.
Oh, we could use those.
Did you just say medical textbooks?
Oh, God.
There's medical, there's books on plants, there's books on like agriculture and things of that nature.
Give me them all, please. I want to be the very best.
But you can't even read it.
I'll
Technically,
learn.
she can. I gave her the one-time use spell.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one-time use.
Well, she can also do it with that weird cube that makes you regret things.
Do you want to do it here, Sarabi, or?
The cube that makes you regret things. I feel like I missed something here.
Oh, yeah, there's basically a cube that just, if you touch it, you can basically cast a spell that you know of a certain level or lower, except it, like, fills you with shame.
Oh, understandable, I guess.
We also don't know how many charges it has or if it does anything more than that.
Yes, to quickly describe it, I'm not telling you how many charges there are, I'm just telling you guys to count up, not down. Once you reach a certain number, I'll let you know what happens. It is a seamless, unbreakable, 2-inch glass cube that contains 27 cut diamonds of exceptional quality. As I mentioned, unbreakable. You guys tried cracking it open, twisting it, turning it. It does not open, period. You can use the cube to cast spells that expending any spell slots or energy. It triggers deepening feelings of shame, regret, and guilt.
Yes. My favorite.
So
Probably
basically,
best if we don't use that too much.
yeah, basically as long as you know the spell, you can cast it. I don't know if there is actually a level stipulation, but as long as you know the spell, which is level 3 or lower, you can use it.
Wait, I thought it was only low-level spells. That would be terrifying at high levels.
Possibly, but like I said, there's a downside to it. So
Downside is you die eventually.
Yeah.
It steals half of your soul when it fills up.
Potentially. We won't know until we try, I guess.
all right, Sarabi, knowing you can read, do you use the spell or do you just kind of like wait and let them gather books?
Do I trust Aldrin?
Wow.
It's a matter of time. It'll just take longer with one
mean-
person.
Eldrin is very well read, you know.
I mean,
All right,
He
all
is
right.
technically noble.
Is Aldrin willingly assisting me?
wait, what are you trying to do exactly?
She wants the medical books.
Yes. Are you willingly helping me find medical books? Or are you doing it begrudgingly?
I mean, I'm just looking through books and I'll throw the medical ones at you if you want.
How many of these are there, though?
Then I trust him. I don't need them. I'll just grab everything.
Because if Eldrin starts like ripping out like dozens of books, then I'm going to have an issue with that.
I mean, then I'll just tell him what's this about.
There are enough books that I highly wouldn't recommend you tearing out, specific sections and pages, but you could, depending on how desperate you are, take not all the books, obviously, because a lot are on law, but you could take a good, 20, 30 books with you. That's just a lot to physically carry. In terms of how useful they are, though, for, right now, there's, 5 solid books on, like I said, the plants of the island, agriculture, histories, and how things are used.
Plants on the island?
Indeed, yes.
I want those.
Yeah, and then how they can be used for medicinal purposes, and just a lot of medicine. I'd say it's probably a total of 5 books. It'll take Aldrin, if he's alone, a little while to sort through literally thousands of books to find these 5 books, but you can very much do that if you wish.
I mean, if he's literally spending more than 10, 15 minutes here, then sure, I'll help.
If he's by himself, it's going to take the full amount of time, basically. And he's going to be fully focused. So the two of you can kind of do what you want to do. Realistically, Sarabi, you can spend the time trying to learn more Elvish.
No. Then I'll definitely help him out.
All right, yes, I mean, you'll have time to. You guys are going to be here for some hours. So, all right, so you cast comprehend languages, and the two of you just kind of look through the books to find the good ones. And during this time,
medical.
Sarabi, what are you doing during this time? You know they're looking for good books. We'll say Aldrin probably found 1 initially, and looking around, it's like there's got to be more. So you guys have the meta knowledge of knowing there's 5, but you've only found 1 so far. So what are you doing, Sarabi?
I mean, is it just books in the area?
This area looks like it's just full of books.
Also be aware of traps.
What's the surrounding area?
There's books. There's, like I said, it's a giant tower made of basalt. So there's spider brushes roaming about, moving from light puddle to light puddle. And there's just a shit ton of books. Like I said, there's literally pillars of books. Other than that, it looks just like an old courthouse.
Then I'll have to be looking for pictures in the books.
What would we be able to find in a courthouse then?
The picture books.
I mean, medical stuff should have pictures in it, right?
Try to find any, I don't know, diamond encrusted gavels.
Ooh.
I mean, we have one in our bag technically, but
Oh, the weird one that I have.
the gavel that makes you agree with things.
You do indeed have
Which
that.
I'm sure is totally legal in a system of judgment.
Totally. 100% legal.
It's only slightly worrisome.
Are you guilty? Slam, slam.
Alrighty, and as you're all looking about, there's sort of a light static in the air. You're not entirely sure what it is. And Sarabi, I would say you're primarily
Is it weather based?
not
Notice that.
not weather based. It's something in the building, but we're not entirely sure what it is. I would say just you, Sarabi. Roll me perception. Since they're focused on the books, you're looking at pictures, but you can spend more of your time actually looking around.
Yes. Plus, fox ears.
Exactly.
Who knows? Maybe they had like ambient you can't lie in the courthouse magic. Quick, try telling a lie.
Zone of truth. I'm a 10-foot tall elephant.
You explode.
Well, that's obviously true.
What?
It's obviously true. You can't actually slam your hammer right now.
Monster.
I mean, if you polymorph yourself, it could be true.
I can't polymorph into an elephant.
I know.
Quick, use the gavel. Do it. Make her agree with you.
Isn't it like I think the gavel's only like a DC 10 or something, I forget. It's real low.
Probably. But she might fail.
All right, give me 1 second.
It doesn't even say that there's a save on it. It just says they're inclined to agree if they hear it.
Correct.
Nice. Temple. Wait, temple? No, it's a generic map. That's fine.
Alrighty, as we're looking about and checking on books and such, as I mentioned, that static gets a little bit louder, and you step on something, Sarabi. You're not entirely sure what it is until you look down at your foot, and you see what seems to be like a little magical inscription on the floor.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. You go boom. You die. Game over.
It sparks up to life, and you see in front of you, as light suddenly just like bursts and pops, Sarabi, a creature standing and looking about, just kind of minding its own business. And then you guys hear another pop, and behind you, Lekka, you can hear something scurrying about. Seems to be a small bird, and it kind of just makes some like noises to itself. But these aren't actually animals. They look spectral in nature, as they're all like random colors like blue and like purple, and have like a mist floating around them. And they don't necessarily recognize you at first. And they're kind of just like they're kind of just looking around, like doing their own thing. They're not really looking at you. The small bird looks towards you, Lekka, and kind of just like just kind of like makes a noise. The strange looking, I believe this was the creature that was the mating season boy, and it's just kind of walking on through the courthouse, just kind of minding its own business. And then we feel this magic kind of fritz out and like, and it knocks something over as this little bird bumps into one of the tower of books. And a few of the books fall into something, which falls into something else, which then falls into something else. And we hear a few little static bits go off. And across the room, Sarabi, you see what you recognize to be a boneback whitear. Near the entrance, you guys see what you recognize to be a crystalback whitear. And I'm not sure if you fought this thing before, but there's a large-looking bird creature that is also summoned. And it kind of just like, and begins to look around the room.
I feel like large birds are a common thing around here, so maybe.
Indeed. This is not the chocobo. It is substantially larger. The smaller creatures seem to be minding their own business, but the whitears very much are not minding their own business. They turn to you almost robotically, and you know they are about to strike.
Guys?
Please roll me initiative.
No.
If we don't roll initiative, they won't attack.
That's how that works.
Looking about, the small bird doesn't really do anything initially.
Turn mine to a 19 then.
You can kind of just see it just like
17.
It's just like, kind of just looking about, not really paying any mind from what you can tell. And it kind of looks at Daniel and just kind of like meanders on south. It doesn't seem to be aggressive for whatever reason. Same thing with the creature next to you, Sarabi. It gets uncomfortably close to you. It doesn't necessarily like attack, but it's like bumping into books and such. Kind of like it doesn't know where it's going. Lucky, you can tell the other three creatures are definitely aggressive. These two, for whatever reason, are kind of just like AFK effectively.
Can I still hear the buzzing?
So, do you think they're gonna attack or what?
Yes.
All right.
I can see the death in their eyes.
I mean, they look kind of dead to me, honestly. They're ghosts,
I mean,
specters,
only way to find out then.
Pokemon.
Undead?
At this point, I'm just confused, like what the hell is going on. So I'll just go closer to Sarabi, I guess, and I'll ready an action to attack the first one we can that comes attack us, I guess.
Alrighty.
Because I'm still not sure what the hell is going on.
That's fair. They just randomly popped up.
Do I have to say which spell I'm using, by the way, or?
Yeah, so just let me know which spell you're preparing.
I guess I'll just keep it with Shatter for now.
Instantly, the Boneback Whitear charges towards you, Sarabi, spending no time at all. And while it looks like a Boneback Whitear, the way it's moving it's different. Its long, hooked, boned blade swings out at you.
Nice strength save.
And it will indeed... Beautiful strength save. It will indeed strike, and it will like it won't like flip you, but it's attempting to like knock you over. And
Oof.
it doesn't grapple you, but it does throw you on the floor. And after it opens its jaws and it goes to bite you. So striking you quickly 2 times, Sarabi, the creature loops up under your back foot, you fall into your back, and then it sinks its fangs into your arm as you're able to kind of shake it off you. The creature next to it is just kind of stupidly looking around, doing nothing, basically. I should have asked, Lekka, did you want to react to that when I was running forward or no?
Assuming it was attacking, yes.
So it would have been back there when you cast your spell. All right, excellent. He does indeed succeed.
Is it a creature made of inorganic material?
We're not entirely sure what it's made out of. It is
For the spell's
technically
purpose, it doesn't matter if I know.
correct, but it's not made of...
Stone, crystal, metal, or anything like that, basically.
Right, so it's inorganic, but it's not made of any of those things. So this is definitely a good test to see, but we don't know what it's composed of. Sarabi is definitely very, very physical, though. And then...
Yeah, they were knocking over Buck.
Oh, yeah. And then, as you are the closest, the one adorned in crystal will run towards you. And once again, Aldrin, you technically fought one of these before, but there's something...
He doesn't remember.
You don't remember. There's definitely something different about this lad, though. And he will do the exact same attack, attempting to sweep your leg, but you're able to jump over it, but it will still lash out with its fangs at you. This one you indeed are able to dodge. And then the big-ass bird just kind of looks about and just like... Argh! It screams, just kind of looking around and trying to figure out, like, all right, what's going on? What are we doing here? And it sees, prey. Small, tiny, delicious boy. And it will run to said boy.
Huh.
And first, as it's charging at you, it will jump at you, raking out with its talons towards you, Lekka.
I'm dead.
Holy mother of God.
No, I have 2 health left.
All right, it critically strikes for 36 damage. And while you indeed look like a tasty treat, the creature stands there, and you guys are looking around. They're not breathing. They're just standing. The Boneback Wider is staring directly at you on the floor, Sarabi. After this thing attacks you, Lekka, and you kind of like fall back like, oh shit, it just completely stops moving entirely. Wind doesn't affect it. Nothing around it is affecting it. It entirely ceases its action. It's now Daniel's turn.
Well, Daniel is pissed. So he's going to help out.
Understandably.
All right, the boy of the south?
Yeah.
All right. Being annoying as one does.
All right, need to end my turn.
Indeed.
Oh, I don't like this. It went to the next person, but it didn't go to the next person.
Indeed. Something shifts in the distance, but we don't know what it is. Aldrin.
Where's my summon? Oh, I forgot he's all the way at the bottom. I'm just gonna put that there.
All right, Shadow Clone Jutsu.
And then I'm gonna use half my movement to swap with them.
Sounds good.
That only saves me like 5 feet, but it's something. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to die anyway, it's fine.
No. Not if I just smack it until it dies.
Oh my god. 28. All right, you just whomp this thing across the side, and it makes no noise. It feels like as if you're hitting not a stone necessarily, because there's some give to it, but like a very porous tree, I guess, but like a flat one. It's very odd. It doesn't respond to you whatsoever, but you know you hit it.
Well, I'm going to hit it again then.
All right, with 2 quick strikes. The creature is indeed bloodied, but doesn't seem to mind whatsoever.
It's bloody, but it isn't.
Bloodiant?
Sure.
Oh wait, I can also use my extra boy.
You have advantage on that attack as well.
Yeah, I will smack this other one twice through my other boy.
Oh, he gets 2 attacks too?
As if I use 2 charges.
Oh, okay, very nice.
I only have 2 charges though. I'm just trying to hurt things.
Fair enough. All right, with 2 quick strikes. You absolutely whomp on this creature.
Oh, the second one might miss because it.
Yeah, you only
I
get
only
one
have advantage on the first one.
What even is your hit?
So it would be 13 to hit on the second one.
That unfortunately would indeed miss then.
Yeah.
Alrighty. The creature doesn't necessarily dodge per se, but you hit it at a really weird angle, and the mace just kind of bounces upward.
Oh. Well, that's all I got. Good luck,
Alrighty.
Micah.
Sarabi, you're on the floor. What do you do?
What are they doing now?
They're literally just standing there, menacingly.
There's a trick to this. I'm just not sure what it is.
Whatever it is, I'm gonna die.
Like is on life support.
He's still standing, but he has like a massive hole in his chest at this point.
Only in your chest?
Yep.
Lucky.
You know the death scene of Edward Newgate in One Piece?
No, I haven't watched One Piece.
It is very long, to be fair.
That's why I haven't watched it.
That's fair.
It's way too long.
Alrighty, the foxes are summoned, Sarabi. Are you standing up or are you staying on the floor?
Casting on the floor?
Yeah, I think I'll stay on the floor. Actually, can I roll over and shield Lekka?
Don't they have advantage if you're prone and they're within melee range for an attack?
Yep,
Yes,
I have advantage
yes,
on
they
you.
do.
All right, fine. Can I stand up then?
Of course you can.
I mean, you can try running away and see if they even
I mean-
can react. Because apparently they're standing still right now.
But then
You
you're
don't have
alone.
to stand up, but
Yes.
Advantage?
I mean, advantage doesn't mean it's a guaranteed hit.
It does when it's me.
Oh, okay.
He's not wrong.
The advantage of me being alone is that I can teleport away without killing you.
That is also helpful.
All right,
Then.
I will attempt to run.
Looking about, moving around and kind of doing their thing. The little bird. You guys haven't seen this little bird before? You've seen many birds, and not this one. It kind of just chirps a few more times, and it just kind of moves over towards Daniel and looks up at him, just kind of goes like, then doesn't really move. And
Why
then
did I make a wisdom save?
this other thing, it's kind of like starts looking around. It stands between the boneback whiter and you, like, and just starts moving around, and just kind of chilling, and just kind of stands here, and it just staring at you, Aldrin, and it does nothing.
Okay.
Like, what do you do?
Like
I'm
a
going
death
to-
rattle.
I don't trust it anyway. I'm going to take the disengage action and then move far away.
When you
I'm
moved
going to
away,
use-
they didn't respond at all.
I still don't trust it, so I don't care.
Fair enough. Just letting you know.
I mean, I assumed because it also didn't attack Sarabi, but not gonna take chances with 2 HP. And then I'm going to use my sorcery points to quicken my shatter spell. Actually, do I even want to use shatter? How big is my Snillick Snowstorm? It's a 5-foot sphere. How big is that? That's 2x2, right?
I believe so.
5-foot radius, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, should be that.
That's not big enough, so I'm just gonna shatter again. Quickens this time, so it's a bonus action.
All right, you going to smack all 3 dudes?
Yep.
Alrighty. The boy succeeds, and the other 2 fail. I forgot. Is shatter super loud?
Yes.
Okay.
I think 300
Sudden
feet.
loud ringing noise. Yes.
Sudden loud ringing noise. Alrighty.
Yeah, I think it rings out to 300 feet or something with it. Oh wait, shatter doesn't mention that.
It just says it's loud. It doesn't mention the distance. I don't
Yeah.
think.
Fair enough. Well, loud is loud.
No. If it doesn't specifically mention it, it's only inside the area, if in fact so. It doesn't
Oh.
ring out, I believe. Unlike Thunderstep, which specifically says 300 feet. Which is weird, but that's how the spell works apparently.
So it basically makes no noise, apparently. And
At least
instantly
not for us, but
instantly decimates the small creature that was kind of just moving around.
No.
It doesn't disappear, but you can see through it very easily now. It's like 1% opacity. Still technically there, but entirely locked up. The other 2 are also locked up, but you saw them shudder and shake a bit with this spell. The crackling gets a little bit louder, and you guys can see that maybe there was another rune or trap or something that hadn't gone off yet that just now goes off. And to the north, we see something kind of bumble its way through, pushing over some more books. And that kind of snorts to itself, but it's looking at the wall, so it's not looking at you guys. It seems
Would you please
lost.
stop knocking over the books?
I mean, we can just run away,
All right, like after you do that, what do you do?
I think that's everything I can do. Except for... is there anything 10 feet up that I can stand on? Or fly on, rather? Broken pillar?
Oh, your little floaty thing.
If you want to take the chance to get on top of a book pile, I'll have you roll a dex check of just 10 to make sure you can balance.
Sure. And what if I fall? Do I break my neck and die?
You don't break your neck, you'll just rather than anything like horribly negative, you just will be on the floor again. It'll be a controlled fall, unless you critically fail. There you go, 19. All right, cool.
Okay.
You're able to eat yourself up about 10 feet, and you land on a book pile. It wiggles a little bit, but you're a small dude, and you got your balance. So you're fine. You're 10 feet up and mostly away from these nasty creatures. Alrighty. Having started his turn, Sarabi, you now have the ability to just use the move, so please do so. Go ahead and target him and use your spirit foxes. Alrighty, as he started his turn in your range, he fails and takes 19 fox damage as they yip and whip at him. Doesn't like that very much, and you moved away, so he will move boop boop, boop boop, and he will slash out at you again, once again attempting to trip you, missing, and then he'll then take a bite out of you. This time he will indeed strike, but your fox is at a fairly healthy amount of damage. Alright, the creature spends no time looking about. It sees a copy in front of it, and it will swing. It misses, and then it will try to bite. It will critically miss. All right, the creature does nothing. It just stands still and basically goes back into AFK mode.
K mode.
Go ahead and roll your spirit foxes. As the chocobo was a little too close to you, Sarabi, they jump and rip through it, and similar to the other one, it just completely ceases its movement. Daniel.
Wow.
Alrighty, the creature to the north begins to look about.
I like his name.
He's thinking, where do I go? I don't know. I'll just start slowly moving on in. And then looking around, he'll just move around some more of these bookcases. He's like pushing things over and trying to find his way. Aldrin, it's not looking at you or Sarabi, but the creature's getting dangerously close. What do you do?
How far? I can move my clone there for free, like as a free action, but he gets an attack of opportunity.
The crystalback boy does nothing as you move away.
Oh, okay.
He's just standing there completely rigid.
Daniel was just pointing at him like, what? I gave you
will,
advantage and this is what I get?
I mean, you know. Wait, what is this? Why is there like a fake me right there?
That lets you know where you started your turn.
Oh, okay.
Cool, right?
That's a little weird, but cool.
It's your third
I
echo.
guess I'm
Or
just
second
gonna
echo,
try to
rather.
smack this boy.
All right, as you slide on in, gotta whomp this boy across the face. You do indeed strike true. It doesn't turn to you, though. It's just staring at Sarabi.
Okay. Well,
The big
another
critter staring
smack.
at me?
Yeah, it is indeed staring at you. And with another swift swing, you whomp into it, and you can feel its body give way as your mace moves on through it. And you know, just like the others, you can barely see it. It is gone.
well, that's all I can really do. Because I already used my boy's movement.
All right, Sarabi, there's nothing living within your fox circle. What do you do? There's a big
Actually,
nasty
can I
boy for...
Can I throw javelins through my clone? I don't think that really works.
I mean, if you have a javelin, then your clone has a javelin.
What's the verbiage? Does
I
it say you
guess.
can attack through your clone?
I believe so.
That's an attack, yeah.
I mean, I still can't do it, but I was just wondering.
Yeah, it makes sense. Attack's an attack, so.
It is this.
Manifest Echo. When you take the attack
That
action.
is a thing,
Yeah.
yes.
That is indeed an attack action. All right, you're just blasting away with Guiding Bolt.
Yup.
All right, as this boy is kind of looking around and doing his thing, you just shoot over Aldrin's shoulder and strike this thing dead center with a Guiding Bolt. The next attack on this thing will indeed have advantage, and now it looks your guys' way, and gazing upon this creature, it looks incredibly familiar. This is the quote-unquote boar you guys fought in the cave, except it's spectral.
Hold up. The boar we ran from?
No, you
Yes.
killed it.
Okay.
This is the thing you guys. This is the thing you guys called a boar, and then you were later
That was the-
corrected.
Okay, yeah.
After you guys
Yeah,
killed
we
it,
killed one of them. There was another one, right?
yes, there were two. Sarabi, I believe you saw yourself dying to one of these things.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and again, this little bird is kind of like,
Hey, bird! What are you doing over there?
and he's just standing next to the big boy.
Hey, Daniel, what is that bird saying?
Rah, rah.
Is the bird spectral?
Every animal here is indeed spectral. And Daniel looks at you like it's not saying any bird words. It's literally just opening its mouth and just making noises.
It's not saying bird words. Like
It's not-
birds actually have a language.
Daniel can't speak bird either, though.
Yeah, but
He's not a bird.
he recognizes this is some weird bullshit. All right, as this thing is just kind of wandering stupidly around the battlefield, it ceases, and Lekka.
Yeah. It's okay, Daniel. I'll use your advantage, I guess. Random cantrip, go.
Random cantrip.
All right, you strike this thing dead on as frost begins to form around its legs and it slows down.
I don't want it anywhere near me. That's why I did that.
Good idea.
No, I can't remember. Did I have any bonus actions? No. Unless I cried. So I end my turn. And I stand on top of my bookshelf. Unless I can, I don't know, climb higher.
If you want to try climbing higher, you can roll your dex check. I'll say 11 this time. Just a little bit harder.
Can I climb higher without, I don't know,
Everything here is wobbly, so it'd be very difficult though.
I'll just make it difficult terrain. I don't want to roll.
Makes it fun though.
Sure. Let's see if I fall down this time. I'll wait.
Oh. 11's 11, you made it. All right, you're now 20 feet up and you are safe. It's a little wiggly, but you made it. You're good. And this creature definitely can't get to you as you blast it down at it. It's going to look at the closest target, which is Sarabi, and it can't make it to you, actually. All right, well, it's dumb, so it's going to run straight toward you. Go ahead and use your Spirit Foxes, because he entered your range. Spirit Foxes, critical failure. All right, they rip into this creature as it just barely stops before getting to you, Sarabi. Daniel, what say you?
I think this guy's dead. So he's gonna, I don't know, point at this guy like, hit this guy, hit this guy.
Double
That's
it.
all you can do.
Double advantage.
How does that even work?
You
At plus
Extra
two?
+2.
+2 on top. Yep. If you guys manage a stack advantage, I gave you a +2. All right. This thing doesn't really take up space anymore, as you guys can move through it, but it's still quote unquote technically there. All right. The large lad will just kind of shimmy on through as you guys went to attack, and it's going to strike at the closest individual. Sarabi, more foxes, go.
Does it threaten Echo's attack of opportunity range?
It would, but it walked
Fox
around it.
everywhere. Damn.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say.
sorry, what did I just
It
roll?
would, but you know.
Your spirit.
Spirit foxes. Oh,
115.
indeed.
Nice.
I mean,
Spirit
that's better
Foxes-
than 1-1-1.
My foxes are a little skittish because he's so large at first.
He is
They,
indeed
they can't reach high enough.
he is indeed quite large, yes.
They nibble his toes.
Oh yeah, I forgot he can do that. You know
Bad
what?
husband. Bad.
He'll go ahead and do that. He'll move all the way here. This is awkward. Where did he start? He started here. Hold up.
I mean, he can move there. He just needs to, pass past Echo and get
Okay.
attacked.
He can't
Yeah.
fully do it, so he'll just land on this side. As he charges at you, though, first, he will lead with his tusks.
Rude.
Oh, there is no save. Alrighty then. As he charges at you, Aldrin, he slams into you with his tusks, pushing you back 15 feet.
Okay, good luck, Sarabi.
And then he'll get to use the rest of it. He doesn't need to use movement. You're in range. And then he'll quickly turn to you and basically side check you, Sarabi.
Whoa! Look at how high I rolled.
Not as high as the guy that hit me.
You rolled very good for a strength save. You aren't knocked on your ass or knocked away, Sarabi. Congratulations. Unfortunately, you do drop concentration. Do you have anything
I
to...
was so excited that I didn't get knocked over for once. I completely forgot about my foxes.
She was stunned by herself.
Exactly.
Alrighty, the creature continues to look around. Aldrin, what do you do?
Be over here, I guess. No, I'm kidding. Move my boy here.
Okay,
I'm just gonna attack through him because I don't want to go over there.
fair enough.
Makes sense. You would also get attacked. Oh, no, actually, they can't. They can do that.
A bonk and a bonk. Okay,
Alrighty.
not a bonk.
Technically, the first one was a 29. That's a crazy roll. And the second one does indeed miss, unfortunately.
It's only a good stagger advantage instead.
So he kind of shifts out of the way a little bit. This one seems more active than the others for whatever reason. But those are two solid blows.
I am just gonna use my second wind because I can. I don't know how long this thing's gonna take to murder. 12 health. Nice.
Oh, I miss second wind.
All right. Little bird boy just...
I need to use it more often. I forget about it, and then I'm like, oh, I could have used that.
He stands directly behind the large boy and just looks directly up at him. Like,
On a scale of 0 to his max health, how much health does it, or how healthy does this
what?
guy look?
The big boy?
Oh,
Oh,
the small one.
the small one looks like... I mean, he doesn't look like he's in pain at all. So you honestly cannot
Oh,
tell.
that's true. I'm just gonna, throw a magic missile at him, I guess.
As you do.
Those are some bad rolls, though. Oh well.
Not the best rolls, and it is struck by it. It looks around to see where the damage came from, locks eyes with you, Lekka, and then sees that you're too high up, and looks away.
Yes. Still can't do anything with my bonus action, so end turn. End scene.
All right, seeing as you were directly next to it, Aldrin, it will continue to strike out at you, first attempting to knock you over, in which it will indeed succeed,
Oh.
knocking you prone as it flings you to the floor, then attempts to sink its fangs into you. All right, we'll go with the first strike for 6. Alrighty, Daniel, what do you do? More advantage?
Well, he doesn't have a lot of choice, so yes.
Alrighty, more advantage it indeed is. All right, the big boy is looking around, and let's see. Let me phrase this. All right, alrighty. It is going to walk past both Sarabi and the Echo to you, Aldrin. And when it does, it is going to do
Threatens opportunity attack from
d6
Daniel.
damage to every creature that it passes.
Oh, goodbye
So
to
the
my
Echo will take 5, and Sarabi, you will take 5.
The Echo's only got 1 HP.
Indeed, as its spines rip through the both of you, the creature kind of jumps past you. It doesn't get far enough to use a spicy move, but it does get far enough to try to bite at you, my friend. All right, that's going to hit because the first one was a 19.
Rude.
Fortunately, he rolls like absolute garbage on his damage. All right, the creature rushes towards you, Aldrin, cuts through both of your friends, goes to bite at you as you're kind of barely able to block and move him around with your shield. You're on your back. There's 2 dudes in front of you. What do you do?
I am scared. I will. I forget. Does standing up do
Scene?
opportunity
Standing up
attacks?
normally
No.
would, yes. Yes, it does. But from what you've seen, none of these creatures have done it.
I feel like the big one will, though. Well, I guess I'll risk it and stand up.
Alrighty, as you stand, Aldrin, the creature looks towards you, but doesn't strike out. It seems its eyes are locked on you, though. Like it's more so focused on you now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just keep smacking, I guess. That's all I really got for now. I want to try to kill this one first.
Alrighty, you swing at the one that's already taken a little bit of damage. And while it does not go down, it does take a healthy amount. You can tell you've battered this thing to the point where probably one more strike would take it out of the game. As that one is unfortunately a miss. It just barely grazes against this creature's crystal hide. And it's not breathing heavily or seeming really to care at all, but you can tell it's about to go down.
Just die already.
All right, with your action surge, my friend, your mace strikes through it, and it phases out.
And then I will smack this one again.
All right, with a quick turn, you whomp this creature across the face, and you can finally tell you've done possibly substantial damage to it.
No, we can't.
This one's slightly different. It seems more aware of its
yeah.
surroundings.
This one knows.
This one possibly knows. Little bird boy is going to walk up to you, Sarabi, and just kind of look at you and go, "Rah." And like his turn.
When is my turn?
Oh shit. You're off the...
Apparently you died.
what was your initiative? What'd you roll?
I'm pretty sure I was after Aldrin.
Well, you're after Aldrin. All right.
Yeah, you were like an 8, I think.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
it was something ridiculously low, like usual.
all right. What do you do?
The low dex club.
Oh, this has a description. As I hold my hands with thumbs touching and fingers spread, a thin sheet of flame shoots forth from my outstretched fingers.
Burning
no.
hands.
And it won't touch Aldrin.
Very nice. Alrighty. So you don't necessarily need to do that. This is with the knife, right?
Do you see how much damage I rolled? Mother effing A.
That's good. 6, 5, 1, 1. That's average.
It's average.
1-1!
Average.
You rolled a 6 and a 5.
You got a 6 and a 5. That's
You rolled a
pretty
6 and a
average.
5.
Triggered!
That's mathematically
average.
1 below average. You're fine.
I would prefer 2s to 1.
This is the knife, correct?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Holding the handle, I said the whole thing kind of looks like it's a lizard, I believe, blowing flame, and the flame is the knife.
Yes?
If you hold it and channel your energies through it, like I said, once per day, it blasts off heat from the blade. I think it was made from the stone of the island. I could be wrong. But the flame begins to, like, flicker a bit. And when I say the flame, I mean the blade itself almost turns to flame. And it just lashes out from the hilt and burns everything in front of you. And then the flames kind of, like, retract and then just turn back into the blade.
Oh, this is so cool.
All right, you burned the small boy, and it just looks at you and goes, ah! And the other one is not looking at you, Sarabi. It's primarily focusing on Aldrin, but you did indeed burn him. The small one seems very sad that you would betray him like this.
Uh-huh.
As he screams, the larger one seems more inclined to strike the small boy.
Yes, we need to kill the small boy. Something wrong with the small boy.
The small boy is very angry that you hit him, and he'll just run away.
Hey, get back here, you turd!
Alrighty, Leka, what say you?
I will position myself accordingly. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to cast this one at level 3rd level.
Dropping the snowball?
How dare you succeed?
All right, unfortunately, he does indeed
Fair.
succeed.
That's a low roll.
The ice will still buffet against him.
And end my turn.
Alrighty,
And
assume
Daniel's going to help.
Daniel moves into his help action.
And end this turn.
Big angry boy is going to dash through you, Aldrin. You'll take 6 damage.
Oh.
And then, seeing as you attacked his adorable little friend, that's not very nice. You're going to attempt to wampum you.
Thank God I have high AC. That still hurts, though. We're all on life support.
All right,
I
technically,
only took 1 hit.
the bludgeoning is only if, I know, right, Jesus? All right, he dashes through you. His spikes rake up against you, Aldrin. His tusks and his fangs. Fortunately, they all miss, but he still seems dead, focused on you. What do you
I
do?
forgot that was his broken fang.
I have 9 health. Oh,
You better
God.
kill it quick.
Better kill it quick. I don't think I can kill it even if I get 2 crits.
You have a lot of guaranteed damage. I don't know.
I do have a lot of guaranteed damage. I just have to hit. I think my base damage is like a 10.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, you have advantage in your first swing, so.
Why don't you cast sleep at 3rd level and find out it can't be slept?
I mean, that's up to you. I'm just going to go for the smacks.
Alrighty. First
And I have a
move
base damage of 9.
is a strike. Now +4/+4
And
is
smack.
hilarious. All right, 2 back-to-back swings of equal value.
I've seen you hit 11 damage like 5 times this combat.
Yeah.
Exactly 11. Every single time.
He's very
I mean,
consistent.
That's my average. So
It is indeed a 3.
that's a lot for an average.
It's very good for an average. Yeah, 22. I mean, you have to risk yourself by going into melee, so you deserve it.
Can I free action play dead?
What do you mean play dead? Like, you just drop prone?
Act like I'm dead? I don't know.
If you want to free action completely just drop prone and pretend to be dead, you very much can, but you don't know if he's going to fall for it.
I don't think it will.
You can try. You definitely can try. I'll probably have you roll something when it comes back to his turn, but I won't say no.
You can just run away because you know he won't attack you. Actually, yeah. Right?
Correct, yeah. He hasn't done anything. He's focused on you, Aldrin. You know he's doing that much.
I say that, but this one was more active.
Good luck, Sarabi.
Thanks.
He charges through the both of you and kills you.
Good luck, Leka.
No, actually, wait. No, wait. You have 7 HP. He can't one-shot you yet.
Alrighty, so Robbie, as Aldrin runs past, His eye is past Aldrin, and you're not sure if he's staring at you or Aldrin, but he's just absolutely dead-eyeing at that direction. What do you do? You're killing the small boy?
I'm killing the small boy.
All right.
That little bitch is dead.
All right. He was hiding behind some books, so he had some pretty solid cover, but you just wallop him with a guiding bolt. And similar to the others, the little spectral image of the small bird completely just locks up and ceases to move.
And,
The big eye kills you.
nervous giggle.
After you finish casting that, you can tell Sarabi he's now looking at you. Very, very clearly looking at you.
Hi.
Alrighty, Lekka. Small bird destroyed. One large lad staring at Sarabi. What do you do?
Fine. So Lekka will jump down from safety.
Is he 35 away?
I think so.
If he's 35, you should be able to shift on these books to get within 30 feet. Any further than 5-10 feet, though, you'd have to jump down.
Nice and cold. And he is frozen.
Excellent. All right. I believe his feet are frozen to the floor. He can only escape as a full action, I believe.
Wait a minute.
Takes one action. All right. He physically cannot move.
I casted at 3rd level and it didn't add the extra die, did it?
No, it
Does
did
it
not.
normally do?
It should have been 48 now, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Roll an extra d8.
Oh, did it eat the spell slot?
It did eat the spell slot.
Oh,
It
really?
just didn't add the extra die.
Very strange. Okay, yeah. Throw
Weird.
an extra D8 on there.
Nice.
It's
two
still
extra
frozen,
damage.
which is what I wanted. It's fine.
Yeah, it can't physically move. Alrighty, will Daniel fly in and do the thing?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Do the deed.
Imagine that.
Alrighty, seeing it's alone, the creature will wriggle about, use its action to break free, and, let's see, he'll run straight to you, Sarabi, while knocking over some books and such. Alright, Aldrin, what do you do?
Attack from a distance. How far is this? Oh,
About
that's just in range perfectly.
About 30 feet, yeah.
And I can smack from a distance.
Your lad swings, and with a solid strike, the creature's no more, as it begins to fade away. And looking about, you can see all of them fade from there, just barely seen to nothing, as they all begin to
Good.
fully disappear.
How's that hum?
The hum has ceased.
Damn it. I wanted to identify whatever was left behind, but apparently there's nothing. I'm gonna find one of those mines that Sarabi stepped on.
There is not a clear inscription. Now that they've been triggered, there's a clear inscription on the floor. It looks like it's burned into the floor, actually.
Like, what I'm wondering is can I identify stuff like that? Or is it too metaphysical?
When you say identify, do you mean with a spell, or do you mean just looking at?
With identify, yeah. Because it is an object, I believe, but
It's
weird.
It's not. It's the floor technically, so and it's already been used. But I'll say what you're able to take from this Lekka is that these were traps that basically summoned spectral animal copies, where their only goal was to attack, and that's basically it. So from what you can tell is once these things are triggered, said thing contained within it will just pop out and then attack. You can tell that they are old. Books and tables and chairs were scraped over them, so something kind of went a little wonky, which is probably why they all triggered all at once. But looking around, their positioning kind of makes sense, especially in this room. Maybe they were used as like guard animals or punish, etc., etc.
But they do look old enough that they are probably for the Elven Society and not like the other guys.
Yeah, you can tell the Arva did not put these here.
I feel like they're probably punishment tools.
Seems a bit rough, honestly.
This is fine.
You know, a normal library, you get a stern librarian shouting at you if you're giving you that. If you're loud, these can straight up kill you.
Yeah, but this is a court.
That's true, but still.
So, grab some more books and gather around.
If you
Yeah,
target everyone in
sure.
Sarabi, it should actually heal them.
I have to spend, quite a lot of time now because all the books have fallen to the floor.
Speaking of twos,
2 2s.
Congratulations. Alrighty, I say with a quick heal, but quite the opposite of that. It takes 10 minutes. We can definitely say during this time, you're looking at the various traps, Lekka. Aldrin, you're flipping through books, basically to discern what's good, what's bad, and you're staying within range for this. You'll usually see staying within 30 feet, so not too big of a deal. And after some time, you guys are basically able to take out what you need from here. Like I said, you get a bunch of medical texts, a bunch of... From what you can tell, some of these plants you still haven't seen on the island. You don't know if they either don't exist anymore, or if you just haven't run into them yet, but it's missing a whole bunch. There are plenty that you do recognize, and for the most part, I think you guys know what every single plant does, just because of the people that you talk to. If for any reason you don't, you can look at this book and basically figure out what the plant does.
When Aldrin isn't watching, I'm gonna flip to the one for Spope and see if there's any cure for it.
100% now.
Definitely not. Damn it.
They mentioned they attempted a cure, but it just says cure impossible. It's ain't worth researching. Like, they spent so much time on it, it was a complete waste of time.
Stupid useless elves.
They probably actually expressed they rather would have spent time looking at something else, and they like wasted their time trying to even see if it could be completely removed. You see, they tried looking at ways to suppress it. There's no way to do that either. The best way to suppress it, unfortunately, is just keep taking Sapopa, but not so much that you completely like lose it. Just take barely enough, and whatever side effect you have, fortunately, yours isn't too bad. Some of the side effects are pretty brutal, though. So, like the smelling one, that's not great. Others are obviously worse. So they found if you take a small amount of Sapopa, it does kind of go away, but after a while, you reach critical basically, and your body just melts. So that's after years of use, like years and years and years of use.
Yeah, still.
But not something they would have seen. Realistically, Lekka, you might not live long enough to see that.
I was about to say, the elves live a long time.
You're not an elf, so
120 years, yeah. Ish.
And that's only with consistent, like, everyday use. So you're not doing that. You should be okay.
What were the side effects again if I stopped using it altogether?
So realistically, at your current stage, you're just going to be secreting this orange shit for the rest of your life.
Yeah, okay. I can deal with that.
Yeah, it's nothing much worse than that. Now, it does sometimes randomly kick up and get a lot worse, but it's rare. Like, I'll say probably like one morning you woke up and you were like covered in it. There's like Cheeto dust everywhere, but usually it's not that bad.
Dust.
That is so gross, husband. Thank you so much for that mental image.
You're welcome.
It's just Cheeto dust.
In my bed?
I mean,
What do you
yeah.
mean your bed? You're gonna be sleeping with Lekka?
No, I mean in general. That's disgusting to imagine.
It could be something worse.
You like smelling real bad?
I can imagine a lot of things went worse, yeah.
I kill myself.
Imagine if I had been smelling real bad forever. At least this is easy to get rid of. Press digitate.
Time to be reborn.
True, yeah. To reiterate, the smell was so bad it caused smell animals to die. So
Yes, time to be reborn.
Actually, good
I
question. Does it go away on death?
one would hope.
Ooh,
I mean-
ooh, in that
I
case,
can kill myself real quick and have Sarabi revive me.
Let me just kill myself real quick to get rid of this drug addiction.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than whatever the hell this is.
Jesus.
This is in character, by the way. I'm saying all this.
I want to try that. I'm not that skilled of a resurrector yet.
Yeah. If there was concrete evidence it would work, sure.
Yeah, I kind of doubt the elves thought about that though, because if I wanted to keep partying,
I mean, you say that, but I don't know. Did elves even do revivify stuff? Because of their entire, collective conscious bullshit.
I mean, exactly. They probably didn't even bother trying it, so it might work.
From what you can read in these books, at least, it's not something they tried.
So it might work. Good.
Oh God.
One day you might just have to die.
Alrighty, other than that, you guys basically got everything you need from this room. You don't see anything else. The 4-ish hours pass with battle and searching and praying. Realistically, if you guys want a short rest, you're more welcome to do so. You would have had plenty of time to do so.
Yes. I would like to short rest because I can currently feel my spine.
Yes,
it is not
please.
where it's supposed to be. Short rest.
Short rest time.
Those are some terrible rolls.
Mine are pretty good.
God.
I'll take
Oh,
3 hit dice for 30.
That's a lot of ones.
Is that 3 net ones in a row?
That's a lot of one. Yeah, it is. 1, 1, 1. Oof.
Oh.
Meanwhile, I used 3 hit dice for
I'm
30
just going to
health.
use all of them. Fuck it.
Oh my god.
Still not so well.
Nope. That's depressing. Alrighty. Anyway,
Whoever created that bird, I hate it.
after you guys get all this information, there's technically nothing more that we need here. By the time we get to and look at the next building, it will be 8 p.m. Now, we know the shadows didn't really go crazy until after 8 p.m. So what do you guys want to do next?
God.
Okay, hang on. We can look at one more place before 8 p.m.
We can move to one more place.
We can move to one. So basically,
Yes.
go somewhere and
Like,
then
there
set
was
up a bubble.
there was one more place we could check out here, right?
Correct. There's one more place in the baths before you go to the baths proper, but there are 3 notable locations in the baths. There's the 2 I have written down, and then there's the actual bath itself, the main large building. Obviously, you've seen more Arvin near the larger building, so that's kind of its own thing. When you saw them leaving the dark, they were going northward up to the city, possibly hiding in the baths, possibly hiding somewhere near it. They might be hiding outside the city. Hard to tell. But they went somewhere and hid. So if you guys want, you can go to the next area. Technically, like I said, the 4 hours signify you going to the area and looking it up and down. You can do that, and then tiny hut if you want. Up to you.
I mean, I definitely want a tiny hut before the shadows start,
Existing.
drawing near.
Right. So you guys have time to look at the whole full area, top to down, and then tiny hut without being attacked.
Sure. And hopefully not get spotted by the Arva.
Alrighty. Like I mentioned, as we're indeed going slow, you will not be spotted, but it is 8. It's starting Okay, it'll be 8 by the time we're done with this. So this last area here, this is to the right of the large building. It's a square colonnade built from, again, seamless basalt. Looking around, this one seems like it was a smaller bathhouse that was somehow combined with a theater. And looking about, you guys can see hiding up some of the walls and such, there is Sapopa growing in the wild. The primary thing you notice, though, is this building is indeed connected to the main baths. In the back, you can see like a spiral staircase that kind of goes up into the baths. This building is about a floor or two lower. So this is like the pre-bath. And you see like, and you see a theater area for watching people bathe, and you see a theater area for like a play. And there's, I mean, you know, chairs and places to view, but it's all dilapidated and grown to shit. The main thing you can't not notice, though, is there is an absolutely gargantuan creature sleeping in the middle of this room.
Sweeping or sleeping?
Sleeping, I slurred, sorry.
Weeping?
He's sleeping, though.
Oh, that looks familiar.
This does look familiar. This is the same really big boy that basically was one-shotting the crystal back Widars.
So,
Run away.
wait, with the mermaids, what are they called?
Yes, and it's basically just chilling. And it's seemingly sleeping on top of something in the bath. It's difficult to tell, but it looks like it's guarding it or just kind of like stupidly laying on top of it. But you can see under it some collection of like crates, and there's some books popping out from a distance. It's difficult to tell, but he's like sleeping on top of this like little structure. And he's just chilling.
Oh, the last one was nice. So what are the chances that this one is not nice?
50-50, I'd say.
Yeah.
The narrators did warn you not to mess with them, and they said this the one that we have down here is strange. It was mentioned prior that there's a creature like this one and another one that are on this island that you just don't touch. Just leave them alone, and they'll leave you alone.
How far away is the big bathhouse?
The large bathhouse is
from our current smaller one, basically.
Definitely hundreds of feet away. This building itself is quite large. And to be super clear, to be super clear, you can get to the big bathhouse through the winding stair set here, or you can get to the big bathhouse just through the front entrance. So there's multiple ways to get in.
I was just thinking about sending Daniel there and looking through his eyes, but I can't do that. I could have him scout it out and report back, but I can't understand bird, so, you know.
Hey, his mime game's pretty good.
True.
I mean, you understood pale, massive ogre chained up, so...
I was actually looking through his eyes at that point, though.
And not for that one. That one we had to play charades. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, that one took a while. Alright, so looking at this big bad boy, what do y'all do? Like I said, from this distance, it's really dark, so it's hard to tell. I can't really give too much information for what you can see, but he's clearly on top of something.
I feel like we should...
This guy is within 100 feet of me, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, I'll send Daniel over there and have take a peek.
Okay, how close does Daniel choose to get?
Like, he's going to try to stay out of his sight and, like, slowly hop closer.
Sure.
Without making too much sound.
Yeah. You're able to tell, looking through Daniel's eyes, that he's not necessarily sitting on crates. It looks like he's at the bottom of what once was the bath, and he's kind of scraped something away. Either he did or something did. But it looks like there was like a trap door or a hidden door. And he's like sleeping on top of that with his paw, if you want to call it that, kind of on like a group of crates. And he's just laying on it.
Is his name Fluffy?
No, he's not Fluffy at all. They call this thing a spine dragon.
I'm going to name him Fluffy.
Nice, Fluffy the spine dragon.
I'm sure there's fluff somewhere.
He doesn't have 3 heads, though, waifu.
Why not?
Close enough.
I hope you have an instrument then.
I'm going to sketch him, and I'm going to draw 2 extra heads.
Where are you drawing him? He's very compact.
I'll just fit them side by side.
Poor boy.
Realistically, is there a gap that Daniel can squeeze through into the trapdoor? Or is it like closed and shut?
It's definitely closed, and it's not made of wood. There's like wood on top of it. He can look a little bit closer. It's like lined with wood basically to mark where it is, but it looks to be made of like the same stone as its surroundings, and it would slide like into the wall, kind of like a sliding glass door. Yeah. So it slides open and then stops where the handle is, then you can drop into the room, and then you can close it.
I feel like if we set up camp, we can come, like, maybe wait till he wakes up and leaves.
Assuming he leaves.
Assuming he leaves, yes.
He probably won't go too far, though. Yeah, it's fine. We'll try. So we find a nice spot in this house.
Okay.
That is, like, semi-hidden away, and I make a hut.
All right, so we're going to plop down and long rest here. It is 8.
Is there anything else to explore in the immediate area?
Nothing of value that you can see. It looks like this place was kind of just ransacked at some point in time, and because it's so open to the elements and just open to nature, anything useful was clearly taken.
So then the interesting part is what he's guarding or sitting on top of.
Probably, yes. Do you choose to just kind of completely hole off the tiny hut so you don't have to see outside?
For now, no. Unless
Yeah.
the shadows start coming out and, being annoying, then yes.
Yeah, I think this night I do want to see
Yeah.
just to watch.
At this point, basically, we are effectively in Arva territory, so, I want to keep an eye out.
You're able to cast a spell without any issue. Like I said, we did it in time. The sun completely sets. The moons are up, and it's getting closer and closer to our full moon. We are now on day 20, and we know in a week, the Goa are going to follow through and do what they said they were going to do. After this rest, it will be 4 a.m., 4 in the morning. And yes, through the little porthole during this time, it's around 10 p.m., midnight. The shadows are up and moving about. Now, you're not casting the spell when they notice, but you guys can tell, like, some kind of walked by the door, some moved around, and they just, like, lazily walked into this room, looked about, and they walk up to this tiny hut. They just, like, straight to it. And they're kind of scratching against it slowly. They're, like, looking around it. They're pushing themselves against it, trying to get in, trying to do something with it. And they do this for hours. It's not hundreds. It's, like, maybe 8.
The shadow creatures do?
Correct.
I close the curtain, so to speak.
And like I said, just like the other ones, they just sit here for an uncomfortably long amount of time. But morning rolls around, sun comes up, and they meander off to go back to wherever they come from.
Where they come from, the world may never know.
And I gave Eldrin homework.
No, not again.
Alrighty, make sure you guys hit long rest so you get some of those hit die back and your spell slots.
Let me give Eldrin one of these spell scrolls so he can potentially try to make a detect magic spell scroll, I guess.
Alrighty, what does he need exactly to make a spell scroll again?
An amount of gold,
What's the gold signify?
I
Materials?
thought it was like
Components
magic
and
ink or
materials, yeah.
something.
because he effectively needs to use spell components and ink, magical ink, to scribe it,
Okay,
as well as a lot of time.
yeah,
So we have to go back to the ship, basically.
Yeah,
and I have
it-
to buy the stuff.
it takes a full 24 hours to do it, so
Does it?
Oh,
it says one day, yeah.
One work day.
Yeah.
That's 8 hours.
Okay, well, you can't do it now then, because you're sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, he can do it for 4 hours, I believe.
I can start it.
Yeah,
I don't
technically.
know if it doesn't work
It's
like
gonna
that.
take you.
It
it's
doesn't work
weird.
like that, but it's fine. Well, you can squat on it for now, and I'll let you know.
And Lecker himself is gonna do his downtime thing.
And I did a prayer of healing before we went to bed, so to say.
Hey, nice.
Only 2 more days, hopefully, and then Serapi will have her babblefish, I guess. Babblefish. Your earring of comprehend language.
Alrighty, something else you guys notice during these 4 hours is the big brute does not move an inch.
Lazy boy.
Very lazy boy. You're not even sure it's breathing.
Oh,
Does it even react to the weird shadows that come clawing at her
Nope.
thing?
They don't bug it doesn't bug them.
damn, they were right. Just don't bug it, and it won't bug you. Are you gonna have Daniel go poke it,
Yeah, poke it and run away.
poke it and fly off? Daniel
Yeah.
dies. Get a
He
new
can
one.
swoop. He doesn't like it when I kill him, apparently.
It's not very
I
fun
wonder
now.
why.
He doesn't die. He just gets poofed for a bit.
Get over it. Alright, if you actually want him to poke, just let me know.
No, at best I would discuss it with the group, like, I could have Daniel see if he can lure it away.
I mean, if you want to risk Daniel dying, go for it. There's a chance that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, he can fly away without getting attacked. He's good at that, at least.
Well, go for it then, I guess. We'll see how it goes.
Sure. I'll at least ask Daniel if he wants to do that. Because, I'm not a slave driver.
Considering we're not
Right.
trying to kill him, and he knows he's quick, and this thing is basically sleeping, he's okay with it.
I mean, we don't have to do it now. Tomorrow, maybe. Actually, is it tomorrow right now?
It's tomorrow. It is 4 a.m.
Now I can get one hit again. Once.
You can take one crit.
Alright, so the plan is, since Sarabi is AFK, we're gonna use her as bait.
Yep.
Use who as bait?
100%. Huh? What?
Oh, you can
Excuse
use
me?
me as bait. I can just teleport away. I'll lure it straight to you. I could also cast Fog Cloud on it and see if it reacts.
What did I miss?
We're
thinking
gonna
of IDs to
mess
lure
with the big thing a little bit.
the bigger boy away.
Is it morning
I just
yet?
want him to go somewhere else.
And it didn't go away?
Nope. It didn't even move.
Wow.
At this point, we aren't even sure if it's alive.
I mean, I would assume it is.
And it's just gonna, sit in front of it and peck at it a bit.
Okay, he's gonna fly over and just bug it.
I have thaumaturgy
Yeah, but it didn't react to sound at all. So it has to be something physical, probably.
at all.
Like we were harassed by shades the entire night again, and it didn't even react to them. So
Does Daniel actually move within pecking distance and peck him?
yes, and then fly away.
All right. Flaps on in, drops a few pecks, and quickly moves. It shifts a little bit, like the head kind of slides down its arm that it's sleeping on as a pillow. That's it.
He'll do it again.
All right, you poke again. It just moves a little bit, and that's it.
Squawk.
Can I ask Daniel to give the critter one of our meat rations?
I mean, sure. See if it reacts to meat, I guess.
Alrighty. Daniel flies over some jerky. You just plop it in front of his face?
Yeah.
All right, you plop it on down. The beast shifts a little. You think those are eyes opening. They're really tiny. It looks down at it, scoots forward like just barely, because it's tiny. Just like sticks its tongue out and just Yoshi's it into its mouth, and it kind of nuzzles back into the position it was in. You're not even sure if it's chewing. It's probably just melting it in its mouth.
I don't want to attack it. The other one was really nice.
Um,
And this one doesn't seem to be attacking either, so
do we have enough food to maybe lure it away with a treat
potentially.
without hurting our own food reserve?
Can prejudicitation to smell?
I don't remember. All the like weird cantrips that make different sensory things are all different. I don't remember which one does what.
No. I think it's Druid's crossing to smell.
Probably that would
Actually,
make
no.
sense.
Yeah,
Instantaneous harmless sensory effect that includes
Or-
smell, right?
Harmless sensory effect, I guess maybe.
It does say odd odor. I'm not sure if it can also do like food smell.
Is odd odor just an example, or is that like
It's an
dust?
example, yeah. Like it just says a sensory effect like an odd odor. So I'm sure it can also do food. Now the issue is though, it's a 10-foot range.
from the spellcaster.
Yep. It lasts for an hour though. You know what? Daniel, come over here for a second.
Daniel flies on back.
I cast prejudicitation on Daniel and make him smell like bacon.
Daniel's somewhat
Daniel does not
concerned.
like this.
He's somewhat concerned.
Alright, go do your thing.
He gives you a look of like, what's your intention?
You can escape, right? You're quick.
Begrudgingly flies over. A little bit closer.
Gives me like the I'll have words with you laser eyes.
Flies above it. He's staring at you guys like, kind of like lands on his neck, like in the back of his neck.
Don't worry, we'll revive you.
Wow.
Kind of didn't hear
No,
that.
don't worry, you'll be okay. Don't worry,
You'll be
we'll
fine,
revive
you'll
you.
be fine. And I'll whisper, I don't want to revive him, he cost me money.
What? He's adorable.
Yes, that's why I don't want him to die. He's expensive.
I'll give you my
That's-
last 5 gold to revive him.
Pets
It's
are
like-
expensive. We
it's like
have
25
other gold.
gold.
It's 100.
No, it's
thought-
just on like herb essence, so I can probably
Oh,
gather
wait, no,
stuff
it's
from
not.
yeah. I can gather stuff for that.
Kind of pecking down along the side of his neck. He gets kind of close to his head, like thinking, okay, there's no way he can snap backwards and like eat me. Kind of plops on his
Right.
head, and with a couple sniffs, it seems somewhat interested, and lazily turns its head to the side, like, where's the smell coming from? And then Daniel kind of
Squawk.
flies in front of him, and he's just looking at Daniel, takes a big old
Just make sure you're like out of range a bit, you know.
Get ready to run, Daniel.
You lock eyes with Daniel, but he's not really moving. Like, he might scoot forward just a little bit, but not really.
Come on, Daniel, do a sexy dance.
A sexy
Be
bird
delicious.
dance. Be delicious.
I'm gonna do.
You cut out. Or I lagged, I don't know which one.
I think she cut herself out by laughing too hard because it's so funny.
Oh, maybe.
Do you
She's
remember,
doing a Jake.
do you remember How to Train Your Dragon?
Yes. Oh no.
uh,
Oh no.
I've never seen that.
Ah, with the white my
Yes!
fury. Ah,
I want to do something like that at Daniel and tell him to copy me.
sure, give me a performance check.
Do what?
You remember his mating dance? Who does his mating dance?
Oh, in the third movie, okay. You're going to try to instruct
Story
Daniel.
of-
Yes, so something like that.
There you go.
I haven't even seen the first one.
They're very good.
Yeah, they're really good.
It's a Discord chat.
Yes.
What is this?
It's a beautiful dance.
Incredibly seductive dance.
It's very powerful. All right, well,
Daniel, actually give me a performance check.
you have the necklace of instructions, Sarabi.
Oh yeah, I'll put that on.
Yeah. So putting that on, I'll let him roll with advantage.
Sure.
Well, that's a 6 and a 5, -2.
I mean, he's a bird. He can't do that.
It's charisma. That makes sense. Okay. He attempts to do a little dance in front of the spine dragon, and it's embarrassing. He like abandons the dance about halfway through, like, oh, I'm being watched, and just kind of like, okay, I'm done.
I mean, yes, that dance was definitely third party cringe.
What do you mean you're feeling shame? You can't feel shame.
It's a very smart bird.
Gives you a look of like, don't you tell me.
Fine. All right.
I mean, he's technically not a bird.
Unless
Also
anyone
a
else has
bird.
any fancy IDs, I don't think we can get in here.
I can wait. How far away is it from our bubble?
Bubble?
Or no? Well,
Well,
where the
but
bubble
at this point, it
was.
has worn out.
Oh yeah, it's gone. It's morning now.
Well, like, how is it actually that distance away?
You guys can get close.
See, if there was a way for me to see inside whatever the hell he's guarding, I could technically teleport in.
I could do
There's no way for
something
me to-
really dumb, but it requires you to put up another bubble.
Okay. Explain.
Well, I mean, I could just like, because I can like enter and leave the bubble whenever I want after it's up.
Yes. I'm not gonna attack it, right?
I was gonna throw a javelin at it and then run back into the bubble.
I don't want to harm the boy, though. He's so cute.
I mean, it's just a javelin. He's a thick boy. I'm sure he'll be okay.
You hit it in the eye. Critical.
Actually, I was wondering if maybe we could be attempt to communicate with it. Maybe.
Do we have?
We have a
Any
scroll,
sort of way
speak
to
with
speak-
animal.
We can
Right.
speak with plants.
Was it speak with plants?
It was speak with plants. I don't
Damn
know
it.
if we have a speak with animals one.
Not too bad. No, we don't. Well, maybe he's a plant.
I don't think he's a plant.
How do you know?
Doesn't really look like a plant to me, but I mean,
mean,
this
Daniel
island's
doesn't-
weird, so
Daniel doesn't look like an air elemental either, does he?
I mean, there's all kinds of air elemental things. Not a pure air elemental.
he just
that's for
disappeared.
sure.
That's our cue.
He's
We're
gone.
running.
We go in.
I don't know. Want to just leave it?
I want to know what he's hiding.
Or is he
We,
just hiding a bunch of eggs or something?
in order to leave, we're gonna have to come back this way, right?
Leave as in what?
As in return to start point.
There's the
So after
bath.
we
So there's the
come back from
baths.
baths, yeah.
The baths have a front entrance that you know of. Then there's this side building that's attached to the baths. It's like a side bath. And you can tell there's also a way to get in the baths from here. The baths have two entrances that you know of.
Yeah, so maybe one of the other bats has like a, I don't know, weird entrance into underneath the guy.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
go.
that's true.
Yeah, let's just check out the bats, I guess.
All right, tally ho.
All right. Are we going through the front door or are we going through the side door?
Haha, no.
We're not going in.
I mean, yes, I would definitely say scout out the side and let Daniel fly inside for a bit first.
Okay, well, that's what I mean. Which one are you looking at first?
Side door, I guess.
Are the windows boarded up?
No.
Okay, he can fly in from there, I guess. How big is this bath even?
I think we need to have a movie night with you, Seth.
Huh?
How to Train Your Dragon trilogy.
Oh.
Since you would have all seen this from a distance, I can describe parts of the bathhouse that we can see. Not this one, the primary one. So coming up to this area, at the end of a wide and prominent street cutting through the ruins of Hot Spring City, stands this old elven bathhouse. There are 50-foot high walls of glittering white stone that are cut in an arch entryway, 20 foot wide and 30 feet tall, revealing a lush garden overgrown by plants of strange shapes and colors. The facade of the bathhouse is comprised of 3 distinct layers. The lowest, 20 feet, are perfectly smooth and white, uninterrupted by seam or blemish. Above the smoothness is a high relief of excessively stylized elves that rise for another 10 feet. The relief to the left of the archway depicts a great battle of idealized nude elves subjugating squat and twisted serpentine humanoids, most likely the ones you guys heard about. The relief to the right of the archway depicts the same elves engage in a variety of opulent and pleasurable activities. 20 feet above that relief is as smooth as the wall next to the ground, but large, evenly spaced, contains an archways that gape blackly in the white stone. The bathhouse was built directly into the lowest slopes of the volcano, which is basically this whole thing we're pushed up against. And part of what appears to be a colossal crystal can be seen above the walls embedded into the mountain. And we can kind of all see that mostly from the distance. The actual side area, though, of this bathhouse here is, like I said, the staircase that rises up. And looking about, Daniel can see a rather large entry room. And you can tell there's another stair set that goes up right and left to what's probably the actual like first floor. So we're on like a subfloor, which moves up to like the ground floor. Sort of looks like a hotel, if anything. And that then goes up again. So there's staircases that go up again into an actual second floor. So we're basically in subfloor 1. Going up these stairs will bring us to the proper bathhouse, floor 1, and then it goes to floor 2 after that. Daniel can't really get too far, but he notes that the second floor looks weird compared to the first floor. It's difficult to tell from this distance, but you can tell, Lekka, Daniel intentionally flies outside of your range to go have a look, and then when he comes back, he basically lets you know, like, in a way of just, like, his usual weird shit ahead motion, but we're not really too surprised at this point.
Well, I'll have to check that out.
To be clear, though, no monsters, no creepy anythings running around trying to murder us.
No Arva, no traps.
He didn't say anything.
Right, let's head in quietly, I guess.
All right, passing by the large boy, he effectively ignores you guys entirely. Just sits there, just breathing away.
Do we pass by close or pass by far?
I mean,
Oh.
seeing how he reacted to Daniel, I still wouldn't get too close, but I wouldn't be afraid of him attacking us randomly, I guess.
Yeah, he totally ignores you then. And you guys are able to move up the stairs with relative ease. He doesn't stir or move or anything. Like I said, if you hadn't let Daniel get that close, you probably would assume he's dead. Moving on up, we see the room that I described earlier, Lekka. Like I said, it looks like an entryway to a hotel. There is definitely some overgrowth here, like plenty of overgrowth, which is primarily, what we're expecting. Not really too strange. And then this next upcoming part is really, really weird. So I apologize if I describe things slightly off. So we can see the 2 staircases that lead up to the second floor. And you guys can see from down here, as I mentioned, this lower area is dilapidated. The second area looks as if it has not been touched by time at all. The second floor. And there's a really distinct cutoff line right where the stairs end and you enter floor 2 proper. There's no dust, there's no debris, there's no overgrowth, there's nothing. It looks as if it was just, abandoned, technically. I wouldn't say just built.
Oh, yes, it is quite strange.
So what do you think that big crystal is about? Actually, could we see what kind of crystal it is? Is it like the same stuff in the island?
It looks similar. I would have to look for the note as to what that crystal is somewhere else. I think it's I think it's actually, if we look at the main map, I think it's the area behind the city, I think.
So it's part of the mountain, basically, of the volcano.
It's literally in the mountain, yeah.
Oh, maybe it's a prison. That's Varku's wife. I'm just saying, could be.
And then looking up in this dust-free area, you guys see tons of opulent, decadent ornamentation of elven high society. Everything. You see art.
Anything I can steal?
It's not bolted down, so yeah.
I really wish I had a bag of forever holding.
I mean, you have a Eldrin of holding.
Yeah, but he can only hold so much.
I can also carry 500 pounds of random shit for an hour at a time.
Anything small I can nick?
Yeah, like there's tons of shit. It's difficult to see from down here because you're on the first floor, but it looks like there's plenty of nice things up there.
All right, I want to go grab something pretty.
Okay. Judging by the height of this building, it's probably 4 floors, one would assume.
How do I get to those next floors?
Okay, so you decide to go up to...
And let me check for traps on the way.
Okay, so you're going up to floor 2?
Yes.
Okay.
What, you don't trust Daniel with not being any traps?
I mean, he doesn't exactly step on stuff.
Yeah, bird's eye, though. You don't trust his bird
I
eye?
just want to be extra cautious.
Daniel said.
It's not that I don't trust you, Daniel. Gee.
Guess the bird analog for huffing. We're just gonna go up?
I mean, there's something down here, right?
Yeah. I mean, is there any rooms, I guess?
There are various back rooms and such. A lot of the doors are like cracked open, and there's tons of overgrowth either pouring from the room or growing into the rooms.
At the very least, I would check them out for a second, but...
Can we have Daniel... You said there's a lot of rooms here?
They seem to be primarily like storage, and they don't really seem to be carrying anything for the most part. This is just the first floor.
Can we have Daniel do a quick fly through to see if there's any captured... what are they called? The mergirls.
Nereid.
Nereid.
Can we have a quick flyby?
Sure.
Flyby is on what?
Fly through the rooms.
Yeah,
just accessing.
Exactly, just a quick fly through.
On the first floor?
The entire building.
Okay.
As we go through, basically.
Daniel starts to go to the second floor and then stops. Before you get to the second floor, Sarabi, you feel it too. There's something radiating from just beyond these steps.
Is this a good radiation or a bad radiation?
You're not sure. It's a very strong magic, though. Like, I cannot stress how weird this is. The first floor looks like garbage. The second floor looks like the ritziest, nicest hotel you've ever seen. Completely spot free of any dust or plants or anything. You see art everywhere, and upon closer inspection, you notice that the art is of various humans. You see some ogres. You see some orcs. There's a few kobolds.
Wait,
You see-
what? Since when does this island have depictions of other creatures? That strikes my interest. Like I
Agreed.
says,
Looking
Hi.
around, you see everything but
definitely.
elves, actually.
Can I Arcana check
What are you checking for?
to figure out which type of magic this is, or at least the source?
That would be beyond you. There's no way to tell.
quick,
All
Elven,
right,
cast
fine.
detect magic. See what kind of magic it is.
I sit here for 10 minutes and cast Detect Magic.
Gonna do it as a ritual, really?
Yep.
Okay, sure.
My
Yeah.
spell slots. I only have
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, we have 10 minutes while Daniel checks out the other rooms anyway. It's only a first level spell. You have like, what, 2 of those?
I got 2.
Poor boy.
From what you see, Aldrin, everything on the second floor and up is magical. Literally everything.
Oh,
Which
good.
is strange, but your sensors are going off like everywhere. Like it's all the stuff.
Can I grab something
The
nearby?
important part is that he knows what kind of magic it is, basically.
Can I
the
grab something
school.
nearby the line and bring it past the line to see if it like disintegrates or something?
All right. I would say, this is really complicated. If it's anything, it would be conjuration and illusion.
It's all fake.
But it's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
It's much more complicated than that.
Like high tier complicated?
I cannot stress how high tier this is. Yes.
Isn't it fun to find out what kind of magic it is?
You feel before you walk past the area, Sarabi, something is wrong and something happened here. And this type of magic, I'm not gonna say nobody, but this is not the same kind of magic the ogres use, and this is not the same kind of magic that any of those folk are using. So you know for a fact it's definitely not them. This is some high tier shit.
Can we do some kind of check to determine if it's, I don't know, either more divine or more demonic or something like that? Like its nature, if it has any at all?
Because we have 2 clerics, neither of you sense malicious intent. It's just strong. Did you actually want to move in and grab an item, or like lean in and grab an item, Sarabi? Okay, you said yes. Are you leaning like just your arm? Like how much of your body pushing through?
Just my arm.
Ah, God, hurry up already. I jumped through.
Okay, if you actually head on through, Sarabi, you're able to pull the item out just fine, no issues, but you feel like a tingling all around your body, almost as if you shouldn't be half and half. It's very oppressive, actually. Like as you jump through this threshold, you feel it only for a moment, but once you hit the other side, you're fine. In fact, you feel normal.
Okay, hang on. This feeling on me lingers.
Significant, normal, or just normal?
Just normal.
Does it linger even after I've pulled out?
Okay, but what does normal mean in this case?
It means nothing. It means it's just like you're on the first side. You feel like a pressure, almost like you're going through like a field.
Yeah, okay. So it's not like, oh, you feel normal, like all your weird ass,
You feel like normal Lekka, usual Lekka.
so not like cured or anything.
Well, you're not entirely sure, but for now, you feel you're not exploding. Nothing's killing you. You're looking around the room, you can breathe just fine. Sarabi, because you were half and half,
Ah,
I'm just
my
stressing.
seasonal allergies have gone.
It felt odd for you, Sarabi. But if you were to go all the way through, you would not feel that.
Yeah, it's fine. Just get through quick because it felt weird when I went in. But now it's fine.
What happened to the item I grabbed?
Nothing. It's fine.
Right. It exploded in your hand.
Yeah, it was a small figure of a halfling, golden.
Gold?
Golden, you say? I'll pocket it.
Okay.
Oh, God.
You fool. Don't go for the halflings. Go for the humans. And the orcs. And the ogres.
I don't care. As
They're
long as
bigger.
it's gold.
Halflings are small
It's
though.
more gold.
Yeah, but I can only
It's
carry
actually
so
gold.
much.
Gold isn't that heavy.
I'm sorry, what?
Aldrin,
Gold isn't
do you
that
join
heavy.
them?
Sure.
Okay. You also feel a sensation around your body, almost as if you're passing through a field. But once you're on the other side, you're perfectly fine. Instantly, the 3 of you recognize that it is indeed morning. It's 4 a.m. But looking through the windows, something is slightly off. Everybody roll me perception real quick.
Oh, good.
Does anyone want advantage from Daniel?
I feel like Daniel's better just rolling on his own.
Probably.
Nice. One-upping Sarabi.
12, 13, 14, 18. We can count. Looking around, Daniel flies up ahead. He kind of checks the windows and such. And he tries to draw attention to you guys, but before you walk over, Lekka, you hear chatter. You hear talking, like distant full-on conversations, actually. They seem somewhat muffled. But after we've ascended these stairs, there's a rather long and wide hallway that leads into the bath proper. But it seems to be like a pre-area for people to meet, dress and talk and party and such. And looking through the windows that Daniel directs you to, you can tell the sun is much higher than it was supposed to be. It's almost actually above you, as if it were noon.
Are we in a time bubble?
And looking up
Does
ahead,
look like it.
as you move around and move past these windows and look up ahead, you all can see a crowd that's growing. It's a crowd composed entirely of elves, all dressed beautifully. Around these elves and around all of you, you see all of the art pieces I mentioned, and not a single one of them depicts an elf.
Yeah, it could also be an illusion.
I begin sketching. I assume they're wearing a unique design of clothes, right?
What clothes?
Also what clothes. There's a lot of art in the Hot Springs book I can technically show you guys, but the elves, they wear clothes, quote unquote. Lots of piercings, lots of very daintily strapped like cloths and such, and they're covering just enough, but they don't want to cover too much. You do notice something very particular. A lot of elves have like a wrapping on their what's it called, like their elbow, and for some elves you can see like blackened veins, very faint, running up their arms and such, but no one's saying anything. Like it's not clearly not an issue, and a lot of elves have this. They're essentially ignoring it. You can see there's drug paraphernalia on their waists. They're wearing them like on their belts and such, very casually, very out in the open. You see people smoking, you see people drinking. They're all having a great time. And you see a very large group of elves that are talking to a specific individual, and they're crowding around her. And she kind of pushes them back and pushes them back. And you can sort of overhear people excited about a concert that's going to be happening soon. And as this individual, this figure, breaks away from the crowd, you see a powerful, a strong Nereid who's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. All the Nereids are gorgeous, but there's something special about this one. You're drawn to her, and you don't know why. And focusing on her, she stands out in the crowd more than anyone.
What are the chances this is our missing Nereid?
I mean, go ask her. Meanwhile, I'll feel overdressed, so I'm taking off my clothes. It's fine, I'm a kobold. There's nothing to see.
So, if they can see us, would I be interrupting something?
What are you doing?
Well, okay, what does it look like is about to happen? Like what did you say again?
People are mentioning a concert, and she's breaking away to excuse herself to go prepare.
All right, I'll quickly dash over, scuttle over to her.
All right.
Excuse me.
She walks right past you.
Wait.
Continues walking.
I'll follow.
You continue to follow her, and she very quickly walks to a back room, opens the door, and effectively slams it in your face.
Can I pass through the door?
You reach your hand out, and you phase right through the door.
I'll go to the other side of the door.
As you head on to the other side, you can see her preparing for the concert. Prepping her makeup, prepping her outfit, and she's doing it rather quickly as well.
Is there a signage anywhere with a name?
There indeed is. As you kind of move about a bit, you look back at the door, and you can see that this is the changing room of Meltalia.
And what's the name we're looking for?
Meltalia.
All right, so she was an honored guest here once upon a time.
Indeed she was. And as like an Aldrin, you guys walk around, you learn the same thing that Sarabi does. You guys cannot touch or interact with anyone or anything here. Your hand phases through everything. Your body phases through everything. The food looks delectable. You can hear and you can see, but those are the only two senses available to you. And on that note, we'll pause things there.
Lek is disappointed I put some back his clothes on.